Hi there, Sensei Victoria Whitfield here, and this is your monthly share at the dojo for naturalintuition.com. And this month we have a treat for you. This is going to be really extra special. This month's share, our second one ever, is actually with my mom, Joanne, and she's going to be sharing with you about her healthy mindset, how she developed her practice of self-care, her approach to herself, to make sure that she could transition off of medication. She lost weight and embraced a healthy approach to life, specifically by embracing herbalism, as well as other things that she's going to go over. So I'm really excited to get to share my mom with you. Please enjoy. Oh, go for it.
Okay, that's my cue. Hi, everybody. Let's see. I started when I was a teenager. I was into exercise, walking everywhere, and in college I walked everywhere, and I was in good shape. Then graduated, worked some jobs, got married, had babies. That's where we gained the weight. After the third one, I never lost that pregnant look. She's the third one. I got a job back in 1995 when she was around 9, I guess. And I was working for AT&T. I was there for 19 years. And as probably a lot of you know, working a job limits the amount of time you can spend with that self-care. It's hard to get time to walk, to work out. Eating what you eat can be hard to deal with because you don't have any time. You got to go to work, you got to go home. Your focus is on doing the job. So my weight got all the way up to 165 by around 2009.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'1". So this is technically obese. When I was pregnant, the highest weight I got to was 181. So around 165, around 2009, it's really not good. I would fast sometimes, like a day, and then I'd have a meal the next day, and then I'd fast the next day and have a meal the next day, that kind of thing. And I did that for 1 month and dropped 20 pounds, and they came back. I tried to eat healthy, tried to eat organic. The weight wasn't going anywhere. So around 2014, right about when I was getting ready to retire, the month before that, I was involved with this project at work, and it was a very high stress project. And I ended up in the emergency room for a day because my blood pressure went sky high and it wasn't coming down. So they put me on some blood pressure medication. It started out with losartan, which didn't work at all. So I got them to switch it to lisinopril, and that was having more of an effect. And I knew I had to do something. Now, in 2011, I got trained in herbal medicine, and I studied for 4 years on making my own herbal medicines, how to live as an herbalist, and I make a lot of them. And here's an example. This is something that I make. It's a skin salve, and I wear it on my face. And if I get a massage, I have the massage person rub it all over my body. It consists of herbs that I grow. I know exactly what's in it. And if necessary, I could eat this. I don't put anything on my skin that I can't eat. Your skin is the largest organ in your body. It doesn't make sense to put on makeup and lotion that has all these weird chemicals in it that if you ate it, it wouldn't taste good, it'd be poisonous. Well, if you're poisoning yourself by eating it, you're poisoning your skin by wearing it. Especially look at your labels to see if there's any parabens in there. Very bad. That's an estrogen type of thing. You don't want to eat that. So, so I retired in March of 2014, and I was able to commit more of myself to self-care. I wanted to get off the blood pressure medicines. I wanted off of them from the very moment they put me on them. Didn't like that. I don't want to be on any medications. So I researched and studied to figure out what can I do. And I came up with a whole long list of things that I could eat, because I believe that your food should be your medicine and your medicine should be your food. So I got a whole long list of things to eat that help to drive down blood pressure, and also things to do like take a walk every day, get at least 8 hours of sleep at night regularly, get massages regularly. And what I do is I write in the date along the top, and then I just make a check mark every time I do something on the list. And this helps me be mindful of what foods I can eat, and like broccoli, beets, black beans, chicken, beef, pork, sardines, chickpeas, eggs, flaxseed, garlic, nuts, onions, pomegranate juice, asbestos juice, rosemary, sesame seeds, shiitake mushroom, sunflower seeds. All these foods, I get them in my diet every day, and it helps keep my blood pressure down.
Ooh, the last 3 items, by the way, we're able to share this with our viewers, right? Yes? You have the file?
Oh, yes, if they want this list, I can certainly give it to you.
For sure. So we'd love to share that with everyone. And for everyone, the last 3 items are our cats.
The cats is actually therapeutic and brings down blood pressure, relaxes the person. Well, making kids happy too.
So that's Snuggles, Jules, and Squirt. So those are not foods, those are cats.
Well, those are their activities.
That's right.
Yes.
Don't eat your cat. Ew. No.
I also list some of the herbs on here that I do. Parsley tea, a cup of that every day. And for a while there, I was doing the cup in the morning, the cup in the evening. Parsley tea is high in potassium, and it helps to bring down your pressure. I also do astaxanthin every day, and this is astaxanthin. And this is an extremely powerful antioxidant on your blood pressure. It also sets up a sunscreen inside your body so that sunburn is less likely to harm you. It's also good at keeping you safe from radiation. And if you're going to fly in an airplane, you should take astaxanthin to protect yourself, because when you're up there in the airplane, you're getting more cosmic radiation hitting you. If you're going to have an X-ray, you should take astaxanthin, because it will help your body deal with the radiation. So I do this every day. Another thing I did was get off soda. It's not cool to drink soda. I don't care if it's diet or regular. All soda is bad for you. Instead, I trained myself, and I have a serious sweet tooth. I trained myself to drink water, and what I put in it, stevia, because I don't like water by itself. So stevia in the water is good enough for me, and I don't miss the soda. There are other sweeteners that are safe, like erythritol, inulin. Then there are, and Swerve. Swerve is good. Sweeteners that are really bad and toxic, like NutraSweet, Splenda, aspartame. Stay away from those. So I have a whole list of herbs that I researched, because in February I had blood tests and my cholesterol was up, and that's because I hadn't been walking very much during the winter. And my doctor person wanted to put me on statin drugs. You know how I feel about prescription medication. It was a no-go. I'm not doing statin drugs. So I studied what can I do about high cholesterol, arteriosclerosis, naturally. So what I found in my research is that dandelion root tincture brings down cholesterol times a day. I end up doing it twice a day because I do so many other things. Pickled garlic reduces blood cholesterol. I'm not using pickled garlic. I'm using dehydrated garlic, and also garlic that I grew, garlic granules. All kinds of garlic is in my daily diet. Yarrow lowers blood pressure and tones the blood vessels. I use yarrow, however, for its antibiotic properties. So I'm not using yarrow for the blood pressure project or for the cholesterol. Now, hawthorn regulates the heart valves. It's a heart tonic. It strengthens the heartbeat, and it makes you need less high blood pressure medications. You shouldn't use hawthorn all by itself, though, so I use it with dong quai, which is very powerful.
Face.
I'm just looking down.
Oh.
Dong quai reduces high blood pressure and it counters arteriosclerosis. So if you have plaque building up inside your blood vessels and they're saying, oh, you gotta have statins, get dong quai instead. Don't do dong quai by itself. So I combine hawthorn and dong quai. I made the tinctures myself. Dong quai promotes healthy blood circulation. It markedly increases coronary blood flow. It has coumarins. It's a blood thinner. And it thins the blood as much as aspirin does. You can combine it with motherwort or with hawthorn, half and half, and take up to a dropper full as needed. You can't use dong quai by itself. I take it 3 times a day. What?
Do you have the file for this?
Yeah.
Can we send it to our viewers too?
Yeah.
Yes. So, yay! Here's the thing. After live stream, this is going to be posted to victoriawhitfield.com, naturalintuition.com on the blogs, and we'll upload on that post all of as many as the papers you're willing to share so people can print and get to it for themselves.
Okay. Pomegranate is very helpful with reducing cholesterol. Pomegranate is pomegranate juice. It's not much use to eat the fruit or the seeds.
Really?
Yeah, it's better as the juice.
Why?
Because that's how it is. It has ellagic acid that reduces cholesterol, and pomegranate is a cancer inhibitor because it causes apoptosis in cancer cells, and that word means normal cell death. You see, cancer cells don't die. They keep reproducing and living and growing, and they don't die, but pomegranate causes cancer cells to die a normal cell death. We all have cancer, by the way, but your immune system cleans it out every day. That's why you really need to keep your immune system strong.
Can you explain that?
Yeah, well, your body produces 40 million cancer cells every day. It's just a normal part of living. And the people that have depressed immune systems that can't keep up with the cancer.
Will we all have cancer?
Yeah.
So we all have cancer?
And that's why we should all eat an anti-inflammatory diet. Disease comes from inflammation. If you have inflammation going on, you're letting disease build up in you, and your immune system has to work that much harder. So you've got to eat an anti-inflammatory diet. And I have the anti-inflammatory diet right here. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, you can use this to see what foods you're eating for like a week. Right, and then you go through this and see, oh, this food was anti-inflammatory, that food was inflammatory, oh, I had inflammatory foods like 20 times this week. So you use this thing you're eating and bring down the number of inflammatory foods you happen to be eating. Yeah, you need to know what they're doing. Yeah, I can give you this file. Now, an extremely inflammatory food is grain. Grain of every kind is very inflammatory. I don't care what they tell you on the diabetes websites about eat healthy whole grains. They're lying. Grain is bad. I read this book in 2014. Actually, it was Victoria's book, and I stole it from her.
Yes, it was a gift from one of my clients. Hi, Alina. My mother stole the book you gave me, and she ate it. Yeah. She ate my book, and that changed her life.
That's right. Yes, it changed my life. It did. And I'm still living by what I learned in this book. This book teaches that all grains are toxic. That's the seeds of grasses. That's wheat, any kind of wheat. I don't care if it's ancient grains or modern day wheat. If it's wheat, it's toxic. Also oats, which for me was a really disturbing thing, but it's toxic. And rice, corn, barley, many things are toxic and you should not eat them. This book explains in scientific detail exactly what is wrong with eating grains. And I read all the way through that book and I said, you know, this guy makes an awful lot of sense. I'm going to give wheat-free, grain-free a try for 90 days and see how it goes. And by a couple of weeks in, I was feeling so much better physically because of some problems that went away that I cut off my hair. Cut off my hair, that I'm grain-free. My hair was down to here for 50 years.
50?
Yeah, 50 years. And I made this change because I wanted to do something visual that would remind me at a glance that I'm grain-free now. I don't eat that stuff anymore.
Did that help?
Yeah. It actually has given me an opportunity to tell a whole lot of people about why did I cut my hair, because it was quite a shocking thing to all the people around me when my hair suddenly is this short instead of that long. And so I told every one of them that it's because I've gone grain-free and I wanted to mark it in my body in some way. And the good thing about that is it's not a mark, and every 6 weeks we cut it again. But this helped me a lot. I didn't realize till I'd been grain-free for several weeks that I had irritable bowel syndrome. I had gotten into the habit before I went grain-free of, before I went anywhere outside of the house, I had to know where the nearest bathroom was. Any bathrooms along the route. I had to know where the bathroom was because I had come to understand that I'm going to unpredictably have to go. Going grain-free eliminated that entire problem. My bowels settled down. I can go for a walk for an hour and I don't have to rush the last few minutes to get to the bathroom. I've gained more over the number 2, but over number 1 also. It's really amazing, and I feel pretty good. I really recommend this book. If you're like me and you need to know why, Dr. Davis explains why in great scientific detail. He's got all kinds of studies to back up what he's saying, and I studied myself, and what he says works. Now, he also says a couple things I don't agree with, like it's okay to take supplements. I don't like that. I'd rather get my nutrition out of my food, not out of a pill. So I don't agree with that. And he's also okay with microwave. I'm not okay with microwave. I cook my stuff. I don't use a microwave. I don't recommend anybody use a microwave. Oh, and that reminds me. I'm so done with preaching to people. You know, what I'm doing, it works for me. It might not work for you. And, you know, it's up to you to do what you're going to do. So in February this year, I had my usual blood tests. I get tested pretty often. And since I've been lazy over the preceding 3 months, you know, December and January and February, it was winter. I wasn't getting my exercise, and I was eating grain-free, organic candy. And I was also drinking. I had a lot of drinking I did. I made my own liqueurs out of herbs and turbinado sugar. They tasted amazing. I reverse engineered Saint Germain liqueur, which was my absolute favorite. And I had still got a whole bunch of bottles of this stuff in my refrigerator anymore. And my cholesterol result in February was 272. And when I went and spoke to my nurse practitioner who monitors me and all that, she was freaking out at my test results and said she wanted to put me on statin drugs. Well, I said, no way. So I went home and I researched and I learned that magnesium, if you eat a lot of magnesium, that acts just like a statin drug. And magnesium is green leafy vegetables, of which I grow many. If you eat your dandelion greens every day, you don't need statin drugs. Statin drugs work in the body by suppressing the production of cholesterol. And even though that gives you better numbers on your cholesterol test, the problem with that is suppressing the production of cholesterol to produce more cholesterol. Every cell in your body needs cholesterol. So if you're not letting your body produce it, you're messing yourself up big time. It also, statin drugs cause muscle fatigue and weakness. Now, your heart is a muscle. If you're taking statin drugs to protect yourself against heart disease, and the drug you're taking is weakening your heart, isn't that stupid? I think it is. I'm not going to poison myself. So I studied really hard, and I found all kinds of foods that I can eat that help my body be okay. And in 3 months after I got these bad test results, oh, let me say one other point. I went home after that meeting with the nurse practitioner, and I consulted myself, and I said, here I am, I'm on a grain-free diet, and yet my cholesterol is up. What more can I do to bring it down without going on a drug? So I was very quiet, I prayed, I meditated, whatever I did, you know, I did it. And I paid attention, and I waited for an answer, and I got an answer. The answer was stop alcohol and stop consuming sugar. Just stop it. Cut it out. Don't do it anymore. And I haven't done it ever since that day, February 18th this year. And as a result of that, 12 pounds came off, which I wasn't trying to get rid of. They just went away. And when I got retested in May, my cholesterol had dropped from 272 to 217. It's 55 points different. No drugs. Of my lab numbers were lower across the board because I had stopped with the alcohol and the sugar. So, of course, I'm never going back. Never, never, never. She was also telling me stuff like, oh, you're pre-diabetic. So my A1C has gone down from 5.8 to 5.6. My sugar, the glucose, they stick you and you find out what your number is. That's going down from 95 to 90. These are lab results, not me taking a test. It's you know, the blood, they take your blood and they do their little thing and they tell you what results are. All my numbers are better. No grain, no sugar, no alcohol, none. And that brings up another point. I don't believe in cheat days or cheat meals. I think they're stupid. And for me, they would not work. Because before I went sugar-free, I went through periods of time where I was off that stuff. And then I would have just one candy bar, right? And like 20 candy bars later, I would say, hey, wait a minute, stop. So I can't do that cheat thing. And besides that, it doesn't make any sense. If you know that the foods that you're going to cheat with are poisonous, why are you stupid enough to eat them? Why poison yourself on purpose? Doesn't make any sense. No cheating. No cheating. I went away to a Greenwich holiday in July, and I had a perfect grain-free record up until that time, and she's the person running it is this fierce teacher, and she feels that if you're at her event, you're there to learn from her, and you should do everything that she says without arguing, without questions. So I was following along with that, and she ordered me to eat breakfast. So I went back to the student house, and I looked around for food, and all I could find was a piece of bread. Whole grain bread. I ate one slice. Within 6 hours, I had explosive diarrhea. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So no matter what she says she is, that didn't work for me.
With all of this experience, what did you learn about your mindset and other people's?
It's my way or the highway.
For you?
Yes. And I have friends that tell me, oh, it's okay to have a drink once in a while. No, that's so not supportive. Don't say that to someone who doesn't want to drink alcohol, even if they're not an official alcoholic. If they're trying to stay away from alcohol, don't encourage them to have a drink. Help them stay away from it. It's not nice to do that to someone. And I have friends, I have family members, I have acquaintances. They all think, oh, you're more fun when you drink. It's okay to have a drink now and then. You can have a celebration or no. I can drink water. I can drink a Astragalus infusion. I can bring my own infusion with me. Like I went to Sister's Day the other day. I brought along a Astragalus infusion. I shared it with everyone else. They were all drinking white wine. Not for me. You can do it. I'm not gonna, and don't try to talk me into it. Now, in order to do what I'm doing, you have to be committed. You have to understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, the science behind it, and you have to make up your mind that you're going to do it. No exceptions. By having that list of of, where did I put it, Victoria?
I don't know, you put it there.
Yeah. By having this list of what I'm eating every day, each day that I eat something, that keeps me mindful of what it's okay to eat. Because I eat out a lot, like in restaurants or at friends' houses or at parties, and the menu. But what I can do is look over what's offered and remember if it lines up with what's on my list here. So I can have anytime. I can have coconut. I can eat meat, chicken, beef, pork, or sardines. I can have eggs. These things are generally available. So anyone who tells you that this kind of a diet is too strict, you can't possibly live on it, no, that's not true. If you make up your mind, you're going to do it, you can do it. You have to make up your mind. I can't emphasize that enough. Because people are so easy on themselves, or, oh, it's too hard. So is being sick. I'm not with that.
Why are you so committed?
Because it works for me. I'm not sick. I'm 63. I'm not taking any prescription medications. I can walk miles every day. I can go up and down stairs. I can do all the things I want to do in my life. I'm doing all right. I'm getting older all the time, and there's all these diseases out there that everybody's catching, especially as they get older. But I'm living a prevention diet. And I am not about getting old and pushing one of those carriage thingies or cart thingies and being demented. I'm not having that. And if eating this way, it's not going to happen to me. I'm not going to get cancer because the anti-inflammatory diet is also a cancer prevention diet. Not eating sugar means I'm not going to get Alzheimer's because sugar, it causes Alzheimer's. Hello? Just not going there.
What makes you the most happy about what you achieved?
Just doing it, knowing that I'm independent. I don't need doctors sticking me with all kinds of drugs because I can take care of myself. I've studied herbal medicine. If I have any kind of a sick or people around me have any kind of a sick, I know what to do about it. And I don't have to go to the drugstore and get a drug and poison myself. All medicines are poison, by the way. I don't like poison.
What else makes you really happy about it?
Because I feel independent. I feel self-sufficient. I can take care of myself. I'm empowered. I don't need some doctor telling me what to do. I know when I see saying, oh, healthy whole grains for your diabetes, I know they're lying. I know what the truth is. I have found a way to control myself and my body. I used to be a binge eater, and I'm not one anymore because the grains are out of my life. Grains have something in them that's like morphine, and your brain has a morphine or opiate receptor. And so when you eat grain, you're actually addicted because it goes right to that opiate receptor in your brain. And that's why people say, well, I could never give up bread. I could never give up croissants or cake or bagels or donuts or whatever it is. It's because they're addicted. I'm not addicted anymore. And I'm very happy about that. The other thing that I failed to mention, when I quit drinking and eating sugar, over a few months I noticed my mind got sharper, my memory got better. I wasn't looking for that to happen, but it did. It's funny how alcohol and sugar can cloud the brain, and you don't even know it.
What would you say to someone if they're watching right now and they're scared?
Scared of what?
Well, if someone's watching right now and they're where you once were, right? Very heavy, overweight. They know that they're like they feel helplessly addicted to the pasta, the cookies, the chocolate. Remember the ice cream.
What I would tell them is read this book and realize that if you feel like you can't give up your pasta and all that other stuff, there are alternatives out there. I make my own bread from almond flour, and I bring that to parties where bread is required. And there's other people that need to be gluten-free. My bread is grain-free. They can eat that without the problems that celiac gives them, and they're happy about it. A lot of people have a problem with gluten and grain, and those that are finding out about it need support, because this culture is so totally eat your grain, eat your sugar, drink your soda, you know, drink your alcohol, take your pills. We get that in the media constantly, but I'm here to tell you, you don't have to do any of that. And there are alternatives. I make something called bowel blasters, which tastes really good. There's recipes right here in the book. You eat them too.
I can't anymore because, you know, blessed my bowels, Ma.
So effective. Yes, it contains coconut oil, almond butter, coconut flour, cacao nibs, inulin, swerve for a sweetener, cinnamon, and vanilla extract, and some cocoa powder. So it's lots of chocolate in it. It's yummy. And the inulin is a prebiotic fiber that nourishes your bacteria in your bowels. And the coconut does similar things. It's really beneficial for your body, and it tastes good. And I treat it like it's a snack. I don't have more than 4 of them in a day, like a 19-gram serving.
What happened when you did?
Too much. Yes, we must learn our body's limits and respect them.
What's the point of having your bowels blasted? Could you explain
why?
Well,
that's just what the doctor named it. The thing is, you need to nourish your intestinal bacteria because they're very important. They comprise 90% of your body. There's like, I forget how many trillions of your cells are bacteria versus the human, but it's a 9-to-1 ratio. So you're mostly bacteria, and they're mostly in your gut. That's where part of your brain is. And it only makes sense to keep them healthy. If they get sick, just follow, and you won't feel very good. Keep them healthy. You eat fermented food every day, bowel blasters, prebiotic fibers, and you'll be a lot healthier, and you'll feel good. I have a lot of energy, and it's because I'm nourishing my body the right way. Because, you know, when you're my age, you tend to lose energy and get tired and slow. I mean, you can run rings around you.
Well, what about, can you tell us about the difference in your energy work from before you went off grains versus now? Is there a difference, or was it always the same?
Well, I've never really thought about that. What I did last October was intensify my studies on energy work with Sensei Victoria.
Yes, my mom is a student of mine.
That's
like
right.
Full force, no different than anyone else. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No different at all. No special treatment. And she is a ferocious teacher. She assigns lots of homework. She holds you accountable. This is very important because I'm lazy. And if I don't have somebody cracking the whip, I'll just slide by. That's why I studied with you, because I wanted to go deep. You know, all my life I've studied this, that, and the other, and I got good at TM a long time ago.
Transcendental meditation.
Right, I was trained when I was 19, and I've done that continually since then, and I've also studied a lot of other things. But I didn't get deep into something, and that's always been kind of a frustration for me. So then I decided I would just retake my Reiki training for level 1 with you, and I ended up with a daily Reiki practice. And that's important. That really is.
Why?
Because it makes me more beautiful. See, I knocked her right over. Didn't touch her.
What? Tell them not exactly how does that make you more powerful. Like,
practice makes perfect. You keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over, you're going to get good at it, or you're doing it wrong. Right? Mm-hmm. Well, I wanted to go deep. I like giving Reiki to other people. I like that when I'm doing it, they actually feel something. You know, that makes me happy. I wanted always to be good at something spiritual. And Reiki's easy. And you can go deep. You know, it's easy to get into, and there's all this stuff to Reiki. You don't have to learn all that stuff to get good at it, but there's a lot. It's kind of like herbal medicine. It's easy to learn, but there's tons of stuff to learn, to do. You know, being an herbal medicine practitioner, and that's another thing I want to point out. When I started studying herbal medicine in 2011, I didn't just go to class and go home and then go to class next week and go home. No, I took notes. I wrote down every single thing the teacher said, and then I go home and I do everything the teacher said every day. I've been doing herbal medicine every day since 2011 in March when I started studying. The teacher would say things like, well, I do root brew every day, and here's the recipe, and I'd write it down, and I've been doing root brew every day since I learned about it in 2011, each and every day. The teacher does it every day, me too. I do nourishing herbal infusions each and every day, and that has made a huge difference in my health, especially nettles. Last year, I did nettles, just nettles infusion each and every day for 6 weeks, and people started telling me, wow, you're glowing. You look so healthy. And I felt really good. It was the nettles. It's very nourishing. I recommend nettles. But normally you don't do the same infusion each and every day. You rotate. So I do nettles one day. Another day I'll do linden. Another day I'll do astragalus, or red clover, or comfrey.
Is any of those in your thingies?
No, this isn't an herbal medicine class, so I didn't put that in.
Okay, so, but as an overview for people who are watching, they probably have no idea what an infusion is.
Okay. An infusion is very strong tea. What you do is you get a kitchen scale mason jar, and using the scale, you measure 1 ounce by weight of your dried herb, like nettles or comfrey or red clover, whatever, into your quart jar. For linden, you only need ½ an ounce because linden is a super powerful anti-inflammatory. You only need half. So then you measured it into your jar, and then you boil some water with your tea kettle. Reverse osmosis water, because I don't want junk in my water. And you pour the water into your quart jar, and hopefully you don't break the jar.
How do you not break the jar?
Well, I didn't like breaking jars because I did so many of those. So what I've found out by trial and error was if I take a paper towel and I double it and I put it on the surface and then put the jar on top of the surface, that's enough of an insulation that I haven't broken a jar since I started doing that.
Okay.
So then fill it up with the boiling water, and if necessary, you stir the dried herb because sometimes it all rises to the top and it doesn't seem to be stirred in. I use a wooden chopstick for that stirring, which protects the glass. You don't want to use a metal spoon because maybe you're going to disturb the glass some and then it'll break and you'll have a mess. So I use a chopstick if necessary to stir it in, and then I cap it, and then I wait 8 to 12 hours. Like you do it just before bed, then you decant it in the morning. And decant means you get another quart mason jar and a strainer, and you pour your infusion from the one into the other through the strainer. So you strain out all the herb, the dry matter, and now you're left with just the fluid, which is now a different color. It's not clear water anymore. And then you cap that, put it in the refrigerator, and drink it all day.
Okay. So with all that said, everything, what would you say is the best first step? First small step.
Okay. Get off regular food and eat organic everything. Step, stop drinking soda. Stop it. I don't care. Stop it.
Pow, pow.
That's right. Drink water instead. And if water's not good enough, throw in a little stevia. The next small step, get off the grain. Well, that's kind of a big step. Never mind. Don't get off the grain just yet. Limit your grain. Eat less of it. Next step, get some exercise going on. If you take a walk on your lunch break, try to walk for 2 miles. Wear a pedometer. Or just figure out how far is 2 miles. Wear some decent walking shoes and walk during your lunch break for 2 miles. If you work in a big corporate campus like I used to, figure out how many laps makes your 2 miles and do them every day. Every day. It's important to be consistent. You can't do well one day and then mess around the next day. You know, that you're not going to get anywhere. You can't go in this direction and think you're going to go somewhere. You have to go this way. This was important for me to realize. I have to go this way, and if I'm going that way, I'm not getting anywhere.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm doing a little bit of this, I'm doing a little bit of that, and oh, I'm eating candy, I'm having a drink. You know, you're going in all different directions. You're not going in one direction.
Focus.
Yes.
Okay.
Then you get somewhere a lot quicker.
Mm-hmm.
You do. Also, get your 8 hours of sleep a night. Very important. Not just because they've always told you that all your life, but because your body regenerates when you're sleeping. It's good to lower your high blood pressure if you get your 8 hours of sleep. It's good for any kind of condition to get 8 hours of sleep. Your body needs to sleep. So get your sleep. And, you know, I wake up several times every night, but as long as I'm in the bed 8 hours, and I might be meditating, that counts. You know, turn the lights out until you turn the lights on, got to be 8 hours. And I track that on my tracking page. I know the days I mess up. Did I sleep 8 hours? I get a check mark. If I didn't, I don't get a check mark. So I can tell at a glance how I'm doing. It's good to track yourself, because when you're doing as many things as I am to try and keep your health going well, you got to track it or you're not going to know where you're at. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, inflammation is the root cause of all disease in the body. So then it makes sense to eat an anti-inflammatory diet to get your inflammation level down. So the way you do that is this thing I was showing you before about what's inflammatory foods and what are not. And that's a good baby step. Just find out how many inflammatory foods you're eating every week to cut down the number gradually.
Is there a book or something about anti-inflammatory diet that you ever read?
No, I was taught this in herbal medicine class.
Okay.
And I wrote it all down because they didn't give us handouts. I
Oh.
wrote it all down and I have it. So the CRP test, C-reactive protein test, measures the level of inflammation in your body. Now, I first had that test and it came out to 1.08, which I thought that was such a wonderful number. But after I quit with the sugar and I was doing the infusions and everything, all the anti-inflammatory stuff I was doing, my test came out to 0.2.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do much better than that. If you don't have inflammation, you're not sick. You don't have cancer. You don't have to worry. I like not worrying. I like having control over my body, knowing what to eat and what to avoid. It's the key to health. You don't have to listen to me, but it's working for me.
Still being your brain preach mode. Do you feel like you were able to focus better, preaching at everyone like you need to do you feel like you were able to focus better, or for you once you and why did you transition from that?
I noticed over time that it didn't matter if I wanted to tell everybody else what they need to do, they're just going to do what they want. Accept that. And I focused on finding out what I need to do. And then I noticed as I did what I need to do and I became physically different, people started coming up and saying, "What did you do?" That's time to preach. I've probably got more points here because I wrote them down and I've been doing all this from memory. Let's see. Yes, I like the accidental loss of weight. That was very good. Oh, energy. One thing I do to keep my energy high is black seed, technically called Nigella sativa. I have ground up black seed. I ground it up, keep it in the refrigerator once it's ground up, and I have 1/2 a teaspoon with a little bit of honey, local honey, and water. Mix it all together every day. Black seed supports your mitochondria. Your mitochondria are the energy powerhouse in your body. If your mitochondria are not well, you're not going to have much energy. And something a lot of people do is the use of essential oils that maims your mitochondria.
Maims?
Yes, maims. You don't want to use essential oils.
What do you mean essential oils?
Those super concentrated things they make out of a whole bunch of flowers. Yes, it's very bad for your mitochondria. So once I learned that,
Really?
yeah, once I learned that, I made sure that I didn't have any essential oils going on in the house.
Well, how did you learn that?
Susan Weed said it on one of her weekly broadcasts.
Your herbal teacher.
Well, my grandmother, herbal teacher. She taught my teacher.
Oh, your teacher's teacher.
Yes,
Your
and
grandmother's
she
teacher.
says that it maims the mitochondria. So I've looked that up on scientific things, and there seems to be some support for that. And I didn't like that very much, and it was a surprise because everyone thinks essential oils are good. I used to put them in this, a little bit of lavender essential oil, but I didn't this year because I'm not going to maim my mitochondria. Heck no. So yeah, so it's a surprising little known thing. Black seed, so it supports your body's energy powerhouse, and also, of course, it helps to get 8 hours of sleep every night to keep your energy level up.
When you eat the black seed, do you get like a rush? Like,
No, I don't get anything.
okay. Because I was thinking like 5-hour energy where you
No.
like,
Caffeine is not really a good thing.
okay. So this is not caffeine. This is
No.
something altogether.
Yeah, it's a nutrient in there. I didn't bring the nutrient information along, so I wasn't expecting in-depth questions about black seed. But I must point out, if you're going to do black seed, don't use more than 1/2 a teaspoon daily. And you can get into toxicity. And you can say that about just about anything. If you overdo anything, you have to respect the herbs and the foods and use some balance. Learn what the proper amount is and don't overdo it. In fact, work up to it. If you decide to do black seed, start with 1/8 of a teaspoon. Because there could be something in your body that doesn't like it. And why overdo it?
Well, this is another thing.
What?
Herbs are still chemicals. Yes.
Herbs are natural things that grow outside. Drugs are chemicals that are extracted from herbs, and they leave aside all the cofactors that you find in an herb. Yes.
Right, but the thing is that when people hear herbs, and I'm just trying to embody some of the viewers here, herbs, well, you know, it's from the earth. There's no, I don't have to worry about how many of these crackers that I eat that I made out of seeds. You know, I'm just gonna, from the earth, I'm totally safe.
Well, that's
right?
why I'm saying you must respect it.
Yeah.
Some of us learn this the hard way. Are we telling that story?
You don't have to tell that story. I'll give like a bird's eye overview. She made these crackers that like
Yellow dock
seeds, and they're super healthy for you. But
in moderation.
In moderation, the dosage is the thing. So for some reason, like,
I was just thinking, well, I'm making my own crackers. It's just like Triscuits.
Yeah. So. But here's the thing, like, but this is like a really common mindset shift. We're not going to tell the whole story because, like, that's kind of crazy. But
a heck of a night.
Yeah. The thing is that for some reason we think, oh, herbs, you can eat as much or it's safe. It's
right. No, you have to respect herbs.
Right. They're effective. They're very, very effective. And I guess that's why I must have a misnomer saying herbs are chemicals, because I was trying to put it on the level of, well, you know, the same way I wouldn't want to eat 16 crackers made out of aspirin. I wouldn't want to eat 16 crackers made out of yellow dog.
The problem with that is you're equating herbs to drugs. They're not the same. Herbs have a holistic makeup. They're plants. There's something in it besides the active factor. And in fact, there may not be one active factor in your herb. There may be a whole bunch of things that are working together synergistically. But you have these drug industry people that come along and say, well, active principle in this willow bark is something we call salicylic acid. So let's just take the salicylic acid part of it out and make aspirin. Well, Okay, we all like aspirin, but it can be toxic if you take too much. And it's kind of hard to eat. You're not even going to eat willow bark. Violet leaves have salicylic acid in them, and if you're eating violet in your salad, you're not going to overdose, but you're going to get the benefits. And you just have to realize that drugs and herbs are not the same thing. And by drugs, the principle out what they think is the active principle out, and leaving aside all the cofactors, now you've got a poison. It's concentrated. It can hurt you.
How does someone know what the right dosage is for them?
Of an herb?
Yes.
You start out with a very small amount.
Like, I get this funny vibe that someone would really need more training in herbalism.
Well, you should go to an herbalist. Yes, you should go to someone who has some herbal training. I want to talk about vitamin D.
Okay, Ma.
So I don't want to take vitamin D pills for my vitamin D level. What I do instead is I put organic shiitake mushrooms outside in the sun from like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. so they get the sunlight, and the mushrooms manufacture vitamin D on their undersides. You have to put them underside up. I've seen statistics that 100 grams of mushrooms is equivalent to 46,000 international units of vitamin D, which is quite a lot. So I eat 10 grams of such mushrooms for an equivalent dose of 4,600 international units, which is a lot of vitamin D. And the mushrooms made it. And I'm not at any risk of overdose because it's in the mushroom. It's a food. I also eat sardines, eggs, and liver, and I get a lot of time outside in the sun. Now, I'm going to get tested next week to see how's my vitamin D number doing, and I'm really curious about that because in February I was 21, which my nurse practitioner was screaming about was so low. And in May it was 26, and this is how I brought it up, those 5 points. And I'm hoping, and I'm very curious to see what is it going to be this time next week. I don't use sunscreen. I use astaxanthin every day. Sunscreen has a whole lot of toxic chemicals in it. I can't believe people put that stuff all over their bodies. It's horrifying. If I think I'm going to be at risk of a sunburn, I will use St. John's wort oil, which I make from St. John's wort flowers. And you put this on externally, all over where you're going to be exposed, and I have never gotten a sunburn using that. Combined with astaxanthin.
How often are you out in the sunlight?
Every day, working in my garden.
How many hours a day?
Anywhere from 2 to 7 or 8 hours. And I didn't get a sunburn this year. I used St. John's wort once or twice, actually, this year, but I use astaxanthin every day. And I have a theory, which I haven't been able to prove any kind of way, that if you don't eat sugar, you don't burn. And I haven't eaten any sugar since February, and I didn't burn this year. Now, I don't recommend that you test that, because maybe you'll burn. I don't know. But there was another summer in my life where I wasn't eating sugar, and I didn't burn that summer either. So it's just an interesting thing. Let's see what else. Yes, I've made countless herbal medicine preparations, tinctures, vinegars, oils, skin salves. I grow herbs. I dry them. I consume them. I had a cataract that was diagnosed a number of years ago in my left eye, and I researched it, and I found herbs that I could use to make it go away. And inside of 2 years, the doctor told me it was gone. And I continue to use those herbs. And my prescription, you know, I wear these prescription eyeglasses, right? My prescription got cut in half over the last several years because of the herbs that I'm doing that improve my eyesight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, wow. That's pretty cool. Well, I think it is. I mean, I really like being able to see.
How about that?
Yeah. Okay, so I've covered a lot of all of this.
Do people get to have this file too?
My notes for this talk?
Yes.
They really want it.
Do you really want it? There's a yes coming from the crowd.
Oh, too funny. Just remember, no exceptions. You're at a restaurant, you're at a party, no cheating, no cheat meals, no cheat days. It's not okay to poison yourself. Oh, then here's another point. Negative self-talk. I don't allow negative self-talk. I make lemonade out of all life's lemons. I better have a drink so I don't mess another word up.
Of water.
I look in the mirror at me. I'm just checking to see that my hair is right, but sometimes I'll look in the mirror. I'm feeling extra critical. I might start thinking a negative thought, but then I'll shut it up and I say, you're gorgeous. I love you. You are one hot potato. And that changes my mindset. If you look in the mirror and you say bad things, you're not doing yourself any good. So you should do something positive. Think about something positive. It'll make you feel good about yourself, strengthen your self-discipline and determination to do the best you know how. If my cat throws up, I'll make a joke about it while I'm cleaning up the mess. I'm not going to say negative things about my cat. The words that come out of your mouth affect everything around you. So I'll think about how the cat needs to throw up to clean out the hairballs, and it's a good thing. Meanwhile, I'm cleaning up the mess. Yes. I frame everything that happens to me in a positive way. I'm one of your classic people that finds the silver lining in every cloud. I wake up that way. I didn't have to turn me into her. That's who I am. My TV died the other day. Now, I've always been a vocal anti-TV person, but I have them because there's people around me that watch TV. And so this TV died, and I was thinking, well, is this an opportunity to completely get rid of TV out of my life? So I thought about that, and I thought about that, and then I realized, no, I do want to have a TV. So then I said, okay, well, how about I get one for free, get somebody's old clunker, just like the one that died, and I located 3 old clunker TVs for free. And I thought about that, and I said, well, I don't think I really want an old clunker. I think I would like a nice TV. Then I don't want to pay any money. So then I found out from somebody who has a lot of TVs that Walmart, of all places, I boycott Walmart, but Walmart has refurbished TVs for half price. So I never even thought of that. So then I went to Consumer Reports, and I looked up to see, and I compared that with what Walmart had to offer, and I picked one that Consumer Reports recommended, and it's now at our house and is working.
What about mindset? What's the moral of that story?
I felt that I was worth having something nice. So I'm taking care of me. I love me. I want the best for me, and I deserve to have something nice. I don't have to wait. I don't have to go without. I don't have to give me a clunker if I don't want it. I deserve something nice. A full price either. So what's the problem? Yeah. Let's see. Trying to see if there's anything else I forgot. It's the largest part of my healthy mindset is me and my commitment to myself. I'm the most important person in my life. I have to be. And if I don't take care of me and my body, how am I going to live my life at all? You got to take care of yourself first. It just makes sense. If I didn't have that commitment to myself, I'd just be a person that reads books and surfs the web. It's pretty lame. I like doing what I believe. My way or the highway. For you. That's right. For me. I don't care what you do. That's your problem. I do what's best for me. Harsh either.
Obviously.
That's right. I eat a lot of, I eat organic. I grow a lot of what I eat. I make my own medicines, mostly from herbs that I grow, and I don't use chemicals on what I grow. I keep an open mind. I continually study, and sometimes I change what I'm doing if I see a good reason for it. And I do it my way because I'm not you. And it takes, to do what I do, it takes a lot of determination, self-discipline, and general stubbornness. That's me. Yay.
Well, yay.
I'm open to any questions.
Yeah.
I love questions.
So if you're watching live now, if you have my cell phone, you can send me a live question here. Sure,
Yes.
Robin, let's hear it.
What is the difference between probiotic and prebiotic?
Huh, glad you asked that. So what's the difference between probiotic and prebiotic? Probiotic means for life. So you are nourishing your bacterial people in your intestines when you do probiotics. And that would be fermented foods, because you're putting good bacteria in there. So fermented foods, those probiotic pills, you know, kombucha, sauerkraut, kimchi, any fermented food is going to put beneficial bacteria into your gut. A prebiotic feeds those good bacteria. It's fibers that they need in order to nourish themselves, like raw potatoes, inulin, bowel blasters. I think coconut is also a prebiotic.
Which is in bowel blasters in quite a large
Yes.
dosage.
Yes, this book explains what's a prebiotic and what's a probiotic and gives examples. Some of both every day.
So, which one should be stopped first? If you had to pick 3 kinds of things.
Soda. Stop the soda.
I didn't even tell you the choices.
Oh dear. Okay. You may ask.
3 choices. What should we stop first? Soda,
Am I psychic?
alcohol, or grains like bread pasta?
I would say stop the soda first. If you think about it, soda is chemical stew. Read the label sometime.
Okay. Let's see. Any other questions, Robin? I didn't see anything coming in on the phone. Let me see if there's any on the landing page. Choo, choo, choo. Oh, I'm hearing another question in the energy. I do if I want to eat healthy, but my partner or my kids won't or don't support me.
Love yourself enough to eat healthy anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Are you the person that is buying and preparing and serving all the food that they eat?
Maybe. Go for it.
Well, assuming that that's your case, you are the person who buys the food, prepares, and serves the food. You want to eat healthy and they don't. Just don't tell them they're eating healthy. Just serve the food. What?
A lot of time they won't even know.
Yeah, exactly. Don't tell them, oh, this is healthy food, but don't say a word. Just buy healthy food. Make sure you prepare it in a way that's tasty. You can do that without violating anything. Don't say anything about it.
Do you have any recommendations for places for recipes?
Well, Dr. William Davis has recipes in this book. He's also got several different recipe books. And the recipes are different. Now, you'd have to try them out because some of his recipes don't taste very good. But some of them are nice. You got to check it out. Like his chocolate chip cookie recipe is horrible. I wasted a whole bag of almond flour. So I made my own recipe for chocolate chip cookies. What?
I just appreciate how honest you are, Mom. That was awful. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Let's see. Robin, you're good?
I know there's something else I wanted to ask you, Mom, but I
Everybody
can't think of it right now. Is there a way for people who have questions that remember them later? Because I'm still eating wheat.
Yeah.
So my brain's not working.
Yes, brain fog.
I have
brain
fog.
brain is a thing.
Oh.
Yep.
So how do then people contact you if they wanted to ask Ma questions?
We can ask you and you can tell me.
Okay. So the way then that you get questions to Ma is through me. And you can email your questions to Sensei Victoria Whitfield at gmail.com. That would be the best way for you to get your question. You can also post this your question or your reactions on my blog at victoriawhitfield.com or naturalintuition.com underneath this video. That way we'll be able to interact with you there on the website, and the tribe can all see. Also, you can join us on facebook.com/Sensei Victoria Whitfield for more updates of what's going on here at the dojo. And interestingly enough, we have one of our next speakers here in the room for Shares at the Dojo. Yay! So we're going to be hearing from Robin soon in the next coming months. Make sure that you're on the love letters list so that you get your updates and stay connected first and foremost. I'm really, I'm so proud of you, Ma, for all that you've accomplished. You've done amazing things with your health and set an amazing example, not only for me, but also for our entire tribe who gets to witness you. So thank you for taking a me first approach to your life and really doing that on behalf of us. I sincerely believe that when you take a stand for yourself, you're not only doing it for you, for yourself first, but in doing that, you do that for the community around you. So thank you for having the courage to stick with that. And so I'm so happy and grateful that I get to share my mom's wisdom with you. And so, again, send me an email back, senseivictoriawhitfield@gmail.com with any comments or questions further, and we will be uploading those papers whenever you decide to send them.
All right.
So thank you, everyone, for logging in, and for those of you who are watching on the replay, thank you so much for watching. We are wishing you excellent health. You're worth committing to. You really are.
That's right.
You really are. All right. We're sending you lots of big hugs and loves from here at the dojo. Mwah! Bye. We'll see you next time.